so I can actually charge this. It's at 29% now instead of just 11% is what it, or down to 10%, I guess. Oh my god, I am in fucking a shit ton of goddamn pain. Ah, I gotta go panhandle some more. Pack in, pack out, right? I am so snotted up.
Power off.
Alright, let's get this done, right? My disabilities prevent me from moving all that shit by myself. My financial disabilities prevent me from having the money for the gas to go do that. And all of the financial exploitation in Tillamook County up until now has resulted in me having to spend money and the county having to spend money in order to have nothing done. In order to just pawn me off like I'm some fucking drug addict. Some schizophrenic drug addict at that. And that's not the fucking case. And see, that's why you need friends or family to fucking speak up. Because when only your predators speak up and none of your friends bother to come forward and say, hey, no, that's not okay. That's what results in people like me being harmed repeatedly and having to do desperate things to try to get heard. I have to be afraid to ask people for the help that I need. Especially women. And it's not that they're bad people. It's that we taught them differently. People do bad stuff to a man when he's accused of stupid shit that never happened. Now, there's a study recently done. One of them colleges wanted to call up a bunch of men and women and ask them how many times they'd falsely accused people of doing stuff over the phone. I thought to myself, well, that allows them to be anonymous. They might be more honest in that case. They may not. You never know. But you'd be surprised how horrible women's answers were. I mean, how much it shows the lack of morality with women, that we taught them to be that way. A lot of women, when they feel bad because they were committing a sin, they'll just go out and commit another sin. Forget about the last one, or try to anyway. And a lot of women will pump each other up for that kind of stuff. They'll work each other up and get each other all worked up into a frenzy over not a goddamn thing. It's tough for men to contend with. We're taught from birth that we're supposed to protect the very people who are going to take advantage of us the most. And women don't see it that way. They want equality and independence, but then what do they want a man for? What do you need one for? Companionship. But what do you generally choose a man for between the ages of 18 and 35? Financial stability. You want him to have it and provide it. Many of you who go the career route, well, that's good. But then you limit your own options by either trying to play powerhouse. Nobody wants to be domineered or dominated. There's some people that are into that in the bedroom, but in reality, yeah, people don't like being abused by somebody who's a boss lady. Oh, congratulations, you're a Karen. That's what it is in a relationship. You can't do anything right no matter what. A lot of women hit 35 and realize the fairy tale's over. No more manipulating. You're going to have to work for your shit now. Many of them still don't know how. There's also a lot of us out here that are disabled that are getting taken advantage of. Not just by our families, who are the most likely people to do so, but also by our friends, by the police. They promise that they'll help us, but that help never comes. They just send us off to someone else eventually. Oh, it's this person's problem or that person's problem. They look for any excuse to say, oh, it's not my job. No, it absolutely is your job. What's not your job is to dictate what the victim can and cannot tell you. You won't let them tell you why they're being victimized, because it happened in another state and it follows you everywhere because of media, social media. The fact that you're never allowed to show evidence or face your accusers or even go to your goddamn court dates, and that those court dates are used as an excuse to railroad me in every court date after that. And people say, why don't you just let it go? Because I can't. Homeless people are targeted enough already. And it's even worse when you destroy somebody's good name. I don't know how long ago that stopped recording. Anyway, I better get over there and get to panhandling and try to get some more gas money. I need it. I can't just leave that mess up there in the mountains. There's something called the RPG 76 Komar. It's Polish. I was looking at the way the round is made and the projectile is made, and I was looking at the way the RPG 7 round is made. Now the difference is that one of them is set at 30 to 36 degrees, depending on whether it's Chinese-based or Russian-based ammunition. And this is on nozzles on the secondary charge. The first charge is a black powder charge. It just pushes the thing out of the tube. After about 7 yards or so, the rocket booster blasts, and it comes out of a whole bunch of nozzles that are around the base of the warhead portion. And then there's the tail fins that pop out. On the RPG 76 Komar, there is no initial charge. It's all through the propellant and the secondary charge portion, the part that vents out of the ports behind the port heads. But instead of them being at 30 to 36 degrees, they're set at 45 degrees. That way it can fire out immediately, and you can have a shorter tube, even an enclosed tube if you want. Pretty cool technology. Anyway, I'm going to hold a sign here for a bit. They're wonderful, ain't they? God, I wish I had a dog. Of course, it's unsafe for me to have a dog. You go to jail, your dog goes to jail. They won't put you down, but they will put down your dog. Plus, it's another life. A lot of people think of a dog as a possession. There's a guy in a vehicle closest parking space to me, eyeballing me pretty good. I didn't do nothing to him, so maybe he's just zoning out. Or maybe he's got hateful intent. It kind of looks like the look he's got. Look where the sun's coming from. It's kind of squinty. It's that time of the day, sun's going down. That car's parked in a direction where if he's going to look at me, the sun's going to be in the field of view. Although it's a little bit behind clouds, I still have to close my eyes to look that way, so it's bright enough. So although he looks angry, there's a possibility he just look in that direction and zoning out and having to squint his eyes because the sun's out. It's a little bit different when it's somebody that's got a history of threatening to kill you and your friends and family who's doing it, though. That part's always creepy. A lot of my predators, they were able to go to police when I couldn't because I was homeless and because police had already broken the law. And I'd been forced to go to the police to try to turn them into themselves. And then I was bullied by the police for trying to turn them into themselves. This isn't okay. This is why it's not okay to make a person go in alone. When I try to explain to people, hey, you know what, no matter what suggestion, you can't make me do it alone. That's the part that puts me at risk, is making me do it alone. There's also a lot of people that they got assumptions, and that's what the dirty looks are for. They see somebody with a beard, and they go, man, that guy's a creeper. And of course, he's homeless, so he must be a chimo or a rapist or some sort of a horrible person. Why would I help him if his own family doesn't care? Or of course, there's the assumption of bald people. If you're bald, then you must be some sort of a creeper, right? A lot of guys that are not well kept, it's because they're not interested in you. Plain and simple. Some of them are gay, some of them ain't. They're just not interested in you being attracted to them. I'm one of those guys. I don't want you to be attracted to me. I want you to leave me alone. If you need help, ask for help. Sure, I'll help you. Okay. I'll listen and understand. My advice, you're going to have to ask for it. I don't want to volunteer you to do anything. If all you need is for somebody to listen, I am willing to do that to a point. But it can't be bitching just to bitch, because you can get a therapist for that. When you come to me because you need actual help. You need somebody to do more than just listen to you. You need somebody who's not just going to talk over you and tell you what to do. You need somebody to understand the situation and stand up for your rights. Be there and present so that you're not talked over, and tell the people that are most likely to talk over you how inappropriate it is for them to talk over the victim. But also, as a man, I need that very same thing. I'm not willing to assault people, and I'm not willing to kill people, and I get told that I'm a weakling for that. Then, of course, the people that actually threaten to kill me and actually threaten to kill my friends and family, if they even pretend like I might do something like that, I get harmed because I'm homeless and nobody cares. Reality, folks. I was looking at the RPG 76 Comar, and one thing that I realized is that you could literally make those out of stuff from the hardware store. They even have the crimpers and everything. I mean, oh my god, any idiot could make those. Any idiot. They could literally mass produce them in a garage in Ukraine. Alright, it disconnected again. You could literally mass produce an even more simplified version of the RPG 76. You could do that in a garage in Ukraine easily. You could also easily make drones that you could attach 5 or 6 pods of them goddamn things. Drop them from the top. I've seen some of the stuff they're using. It makes sense to use the smaller drones. Something that's less than 2 feet wide and 2 feet long. But you do want it to be big enough that you can pick up a sizable warhead if need be. If the tank hatch is open, yeah, you could do it with a 40 millimeter grenade that goes into like a M246. No, not the 246. Jesus, what's the underbelly one for the MC? The 40 millimeter grenade launcher. Like, that's literally what they're dropping. One of the things the Ukrainians have a hell of an issue with is logistics. I mean, they're fighting against people who have a universal set of arms that remain the same for decades. And the Ukrainians are basically being into NATO stuff, former Warsaw Pact nation stuff. They're having to use 7.62 by 54 millimeter Russian. And they're going to have to neck that down and size that down for a lot of different rifles and cartridges that they have. I was watching a thing about the arms thing in Ukraine, and they were talking about how it's easier to remanufacture a bunch of the ammunition than it is to actually rechamber and rebore it in a lot of those situations. That's insanity. Like, really, you can't find a way to bore it out and put a steel lining in it? The RPG 76 Comar, the way that they designed it, you know, you could actually use that from a distance, have it so that you can stand back and pull a cord just like on a artillery. But it's scary. See, this is something all throughout history that people don't want to pay attention to, is the actual bodies involved, what it actually does to people. When I was looking up what's going on in Ukraine, some of the stuff that popped up don't mess, not stuff I want to see. But of course, there's situations like with Thomas Kelly here in the United States, the death by the police. There's pictures of him on his deathbed, and they're covered and censored by YouTube and Facebook. It's horrible. Him after the beating, that picture was my Facebook profile for a while. Look at the way a lot of these men are dying over there, and women as well. It's horrible. The thing with Austin, Israel, that's horrible too. But Israel can stand alone now. They have the abilities, they have the capabilities. In the United States, we need to stop telling people to mind their own business and then sticking our nose in everybody else's business. We need to stop telling our own people that they should expect nothing and they deserve nothing while we give everything away to other countries like Israel, Ukraine, former Warsaw Pact nations as well as NATO nations. And then we bully our allies into going to war with us. Sir, you dropped some stuff. Cool. Another guy went and helped him first. Yes. Like to see more of that.
Good, you? They ever rent that apartment? What? Enjoy it. Have a good day.
They need to put a turbocharger on that thing. The world we live in. So my phone's down to like 5% battery. I have to go plug it in. Rain made me think I came back over here and I'm starting to get chilly, so I'm gonna go put on my pink hoodie and charge up my phone some for my safety. I'm gonna try panhandle this morning. It's nice when people acknowledge my existence. A lot of people, they're craning their neck real hard to make sure they look in the direction that they don't have to see that you exist. And a lot of people out in front of other traffic because they're not looking both ways because they don't want to see you existing. How dare you exist in their line of sight? God damn you, you filthy hobo. What are you thinking being a homeless here? You should go be homeless somewhere else where they won't want you there. They'll only bully you until you go somewhere else to be bullied, and then other people will bully you to go somewhere else. I'm doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I also believe that it doesn't matter if it's a man, a woman, or a child who's being abused. Wrong is wrong. If you have to do drastic things, you have to do drastic things. If it's to save a life, I absolutely understand. If that's what's necessary to save a life, then save a life. I do what I can to protect those around me, and I don't fall for that whole you just need to mind your business stuff. No, if somebody hurts others in the community, they'll hurt you too. That's my favorite finger.
You owe me $10, Dingleberry.
It's not wrong to protect yourself. It's not wrong to protect your friends. It's not wrong to protect your family. Whatever you choose to protect the men is your decision. If you choose to protect none of them, that's your decision. If you choose not to, though, it's still wrong. However, if they're harming others, then you do have at least some portion of society that you owe a debt to for allowing it, if you choose to allow it instead of stop those people from harming others again and again and again. When I say no victim left behind, I mean literally no victim left behind. Be they men, women, or children, I don't care. Nobody deserves this kind of abuse.
I gotta work the cafe because I just gotta take your dad. Just gotta take her down to the doctor's to do an eye surgery. So
I better go charge up my phone a little bit and come back out before it gets dark. People are often telling me what I should have done with these predators. Oh, Sean, you should have killed him. I would have. No, you wouldn't. You'd have talked about it. And because you talked about it, if it happens, you're going to get in trouble. So you're going to be afraid of anybody hurting them if you do such a thing. Especially if it's all over the news. And you're goddamn right. I am a very loudmouth motherfucker. The news won't listen. The media won't listen. Friends won't listen. Cops won't listen. Well, my own personal moral beliefs tell me that it is still my duty as an American to speak up. And if the law is unjust, it is my duty to break it. Just saying. That was kind of the moral of the story with the original series of Star Trek. Rules are made to be broken. To everything in Star Trek, there is some sort of an explanation. Godlike powers? Oh, well, they're just a certain type of extraterrestrial. They just have different abilities than us because they come from different places and their life developed in different places and in different ways. So on and so on. Meanwhile, we're stuck on planet Earth with pipe bombs and school shootings and police who murder the people in this country that are least likely to have a firearm, the homeless. The majority of the police's victims, they choose a victim pool of 0.18% of the American population, the homeless. Even less than that because, well, as I've stated before, 85% of the homeless or more are men, and 96% of those killed by police every year are men. 61% of those killed by police last year were homeless. 51% were disabled. I'm a disabled homeless man. What chance do I have? A lot of these women that I speak with about what I'm going through, they've already got it in their heads that nobody could possibly go through anything worse than a woman does. So it falls on deaf ears, and I try to explain to them, hey, you know what? If it was a woman coming to you about these issues, would you listen to her? Would you help to turn it in, or would you talk her out of it to the best of your ability? Would you let her know that you're someone she can trust? Or would you be someone who talks over her and tells her what to do, what to think, and what to feel? She needs you to listen to understand, and then you can help. But when you spend zero time trying to understand because you're busy telling stories about yourself, or you're busy dispensing general advice, or a pretty meme that you read this week on Facebook, it does not apply to the situation, but you're not going to hear that. You're too busy wanting to say it and have your pretty saying be the fix-all for all their issues. It doesn't fucking work that way.